one of the jokes we were passing around with each other was, we kept expecting, or we were half expecting that, what if something happens? What if, there is a crime or something like that. I saw a peace officer, a guy labeled as such, and I approached him, and I said, hey, if the situation arises, an opportunity arises, get one of these guys dressed up as a superhero to help you out. As like if a little kid gets lost, like have this guy take the kid back to the parent. And he's like, the kid's lost, and yeah, like I said, there's several kids disappearing. So luckily there's plenty of security around. So we didn't have to take find discover the little one crying and take him to the security office. But one of the guys, he was shocked. He said, he came across a crying kid, and he was a little unsure, but luckily, officer was right there, so he was able to, take care of the kid. But we were also, just thinking like, God, what if Stan Lee, shows up, or whoever says, hey, why didn't you help out? Why didn't you do this or that? Or, so, yeah. Man, I really gotta stop doing this. Okay. Well, so I posed the question, and I didn't answer it, and the reason why is because I already knew the answer, but I didn't want to just throw out an answer. I did want to think about it. I didn't want to, convince, whoever's watching this that, yes, I did think about that answer. And, of course, the question is mortality. Could you handle the fact that if somebody died while you're trying to save them, would you accept that? Could you handle that? Would you go into the hero business knowing that people are going to die on you? And my answer is yes, I would do that. I would step into that role. Even if the person died, even if I had them in my hands and they fell out, I would accept that. Because, you can try, you can fail, you can try and succeed. Try to succeed. It's to do or do not, but, it's really better to have done than to not have done at all at the same time. So how do you accept that? How does the hero come to terms with that realization that sometimes I'm just not going to be able to do it? Sometimes I'm going to have my off day. Sometimes I won't be as sharp as I could be. You just have to accept it. You have to go around, your daily life, because superheroes have to eat as well. They have to have lives. They have to have their support systems. They have to look after people who are important in their lives, who keep them going. So some may die, but more will live. If you try to save 100 people and 99 die, but you're able to save one, what does that make you? Can you live with that? Can you accept that? Or should you just get out of that business of trying to save lives? And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, you're a pretty bad hero and you shouldn't be trying to save people. But what if surgeons had approached things that way? Imagine how many people died on the surgery table over the centuries. And surgeons just kept doing it. They kept trying to save lives. They would lose people constantly. That's the beauty of modern medicine, but, think of it. You're taking somebody's life in your own hands with the intention of saving it, and the person dies. But surgeons kept doing it. That's why we still have surgeons today. So if you're a superhero, that's what you have to accept. It's, and for some people, they have different mechanisms to do it, Substances to take their mind off of it. Emotional problems, social problems. Some live by, unique codes of conduct, and codes of conduct are just, they're mental creations of laws that you live and adhere to, and solely, by yourself, placed upon yourself. And part of that is the way to rationalize your life and your place in life and how to accept it. When they talk about superheroes and how it's a mythology for modern day America, yeah. And just like myths, they have their own crazy wisdoms and logics and methods of just going about daily life and accepting the facets of daily life. So that's what kept me up for about the past hour and a half while I'm trying to lay in bed and sleep. So I figured, one, I had to answer the question. And I did, I approached this from several different positions and areas, but same answer kept coming up. Yes. If I knew people were going to die, I would accept it. One of the guys today mentioned how there is this, hero who does, he patrols, he lives in this area. And the thing is, he's not alone. There's other people like that. You hear stories about retired police officers, and they drive around at night. They're looking for crime still. And why? Why do these people do that? Why do they put themselves in harm's way? It's because they accept the lifestyle of a hero. They accept that some people are going to die, but more people will live. And it's because of them that people will live. And if they still die, then hopefully justice will be done. The perpetrator will be, treated accordingly. That's a code of conduct those people live by. It's like why, when they say to police officers in these cop dramas, I'll give you a desk job, and they say, you know what, you can shoot me before you give me a desk job. And yeah, I talked to a guy the other day, and he said pretty much the same thing, that when he was a police officer and got to the point, so old or so high in seniority that they started giving him desk jobs, they complained, and they said, you're not doing your job at the desk. And it's like, yeah, because he wanted to do actual work. He wanted to really help people. So I think that's the closest, symbolization or closest analogy to a superhero is a police officer and even a firefighter. When you watch Rescue Me, and what's interesting about Rescue Me is that the firefighters in New York love that show. They swear by that show. They're always appearing in that show. They're always providing technical advice and guidance. And when you watch it, you realize just how many people die on these guys. And every death still affects them, but they keep going on. They keep doing it. And there's some link between being a firefighter and being Irish, and I think part of that is alcohol. Because how else do you drown out the screams of the dying in your brain? If I was on that platform, I had to reach across, grab the person's hand and save them. The safety harness is I know there's a safety harness on me, but I don't see a safety harness on that person. I start to slip and fall. I jump and grab him in my arms. Even if they slipped out of my hands in the process, at least I tried. Even though it would tear me up inside, knowing that I failed, that somebody died on me, I would accept it because at least I tried. Somebody was counted on me, and at least I gave the effort to try to save their life. I know, weird stuff. I'm trying to sleep and just, you have to save their life. How are you going to do it? Anyways,